guys, and welcome back to our channel. I'm Michelle.
And I'm Ken, and today we're here to talk about our top 5 favorite comedies.
Yeah, baby.
Of all time.
Yep. Who doesn't love a good comedy?
I miss comedies.
I knew you were going to say that.
They just don't come out with good ones anymore.
They just don't make them like they used to.
Yeah, like every now and then you might get something that's supposed to be a good comedy. Like the one we watched that we didn't even really get a chance to talk about on the channel, but I don't even remember the name. But it had Charlie Day in it, and it was on Amazon Prime.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I cannot remember the name, but we watched it.
Wow.
But we didn't even feel compelled enough to talk about
Something about getting back together, or
I Want You Back. I think it was. Yeah, I Want You Back.
Okay.
You jogged my memory.
There you have it.
But if you want to do it, we'll do a small review. It was pretty good.
It was decent. Yep.
But before we get into talking about the top 5, we need you guys to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and like this video. And comment down below, feel free, your top 5 comedies, your top 3 comedies, your top 10 comedies if you want. But let us know what some of your favorite comedies of all time are in the comment section below. And yeah, I'm excited to get into this.
Yeah,
top 5 comedies.
Little quick backstory here. We do not know each other's list.
No.
So before I get into, we're going to go back and forth, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. But I do want to say that I didn't put some on my list because I think they're going to be on his.
Well, it's going to be funny if I didn't put some on my list because I thought they were going to be on yours.
Okay. Well, anyway.
Then we're not going to. But we can, if that happens, we can talk about it after.
Maybe some honorable mentions.
I guess we'll do like the honorable mentions.
I know you always like doing those. Yeah.
So we'll do the honorable mentions last.
Okay. So no peeking.
Okay.
So let's get to it. Okay. So my number 5. Also something I need to. This is very important too. I picked movies based on if they give you, if they actually make you laugh. Okay.
If they actually make you belly laugh throughout.
Like they get some cackles out of you. Okay. Because. There's comedies that are like, you kind of laugh.
I try to think that way too, because there's comedies that I absolutely love.
Right. But they might not really get that.
Did they really make me laugh the whole time? Yeah. I try to take that into account too.
And, of course, that's going to be different for everybody. But anyway, without going on to a big, long spill about this. So these movies make me laugh. So anyway, there's that. So my number 5 is Meet the Parents.
Meet the Parent. That's a good one. That is a good one.
Yep.
There's just so many.
There's
really so many comedies from all different eras.
Right. So I did Meet the Parents. So you've got Ben Stiller. Love him. You've got Robert De Niro. I mean, come on.
One of the all-time greats.
Right.
All-time greats. And this was like when De Niro was... I feel like he maybe had done a little bit of comedy before that, but this is when he was really dipping his toes into comedy for the first time, because he's mostly known for all these classic gangster movies that I've been watching recently, like The Godfather, Goodfellas, Casino, more serious movies, and he just got a chance to let loose in this, and it was hilarious. Right.
So he's the father-in-law, and so I'm sure you've seen the story. It's the movie. It's a
good one.
It's funny, and I'm trying to think.
I have nipples, Greg. Would you milk me?
Right. I was just gonna say that. Yeah. So just the two of them, kind of going at it as future son-in-law and father-in-law or whatever. It's just a really funny,
very relatable story, which I think it kind of strikes a chord with most people. Yeah, that was a big movie when it came out. I did not even think of that one.
Yeah. So there you go. There's my number 5. What's your number 5?
My number 5 is Office Space.
Okay.
I love Office Space. I think it's a movie that was super ahead of its time. Came out in 1999. But it deals with a lot of the stuff that I really haven't got a chance to deal with in my life, because I've never really worked in that office setting. But it was kind of like The Office before the TV show The Office. Just kind of dealing with the mundane routine of going to work every day, and how much it sucks, and just how you work with people that some people are just all giddy and ready to go. It's Monday, I'm excited. And some people are just oh, I don't want to be here.
Right.
And they just really dealt with that really well, I think. And it's got a great cast. Jennifer Aniston's in it. She's great in the movie. And Ron Livingston, who hasn't done a whole lot. He was in the Conjuring movies, but He's great as the lead character. And then you got Lundberg, Gary Cole. I don't even know if you've seen it. Have you seen it? Have I made you watch that?
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah, he's got the stapler.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And the whole Michael Bolton thing.
He's never given me credit for stuff. He thinks
I'm sure I've shown it to you because that's a movie I've been watching.
To watch these classics or something.
That's a movie I've been watching since I was a kid.
Pretty sure we watched it together.
Yeah, we have for sure. I've made
and
you
then
watch
Jennifer
that one.
Aniston, she's got like all the little buttons that she collects.
Yeah, the pieces of flair because they want her. She's wearing the minimum amount of 15, and they're like, "Why don't you wear 35 like him?" She's like, "If you want the minimum to be 35, then make it 35."
Right,
like the whole thing's hilarious.
Yeah.
It's a drier comedy,
right?
But it also makes me laugh a lot. And the scene where they beat the shit out of the fax machine is one of the best in cinematic history.
Does that really make you laugh though?
Oh yes.
Wow.
Oh yes.
Okay.
I love it.
It goes to show that we're all different. So, okay. So let's get into number 4.
Okay.
My number 4 is, this is a classic. Okay. I remember watching this with my friend when we were like, I don't know, middle schoolers or something, but A Night at the Roxbury.
Night at the Roxbury. That's another great one. Yeah.
So I feel like, I don't know, I just had to put it on my list, kind of for nostalgic purposes. But you've got Will Ferrell. And what is the other guy's name?
Chris Kattan.
Yeah. I mean,
I love Chris Kattan. He didn't pop like Will Ferrell, but he is super funny in everything that he's ever been in.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen Corky Romano, it's incredible.
Yeah. I don't know. Just the two of them being brothers. Are they brothers or stepbrothers?
They're brothers.
Okay, they're brothers. Yeah.
Are you guys brothers? No. Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I think that this movie is funny. You've also got Molly Shannon.
Yeah.
And gosh, the dad from Clueless.
He's in Addams Family.
Do you know his name?
I don't know his name off the top of my head.
Well, he's pretty. I feel like he's kind of iconic.
Yeah.
And he kind of acts the same. I feel like
he's great.
As the dad or whatever. But anyway, yeah, that is just a great comedy, and also the soundtrack is pretty killer too.
Oh yeah, I love it.
Baby, don't hurt.
That's a great pick. I'm honestly kind of mad I didn't put it in my top 5.
Well,
if you're going for like pound for pound laughs, that's a good one because that is one I laugh a lot at.
Well,
and
that's
quote
what
a lot.
I do. I come through with the list, babe.
Yeah, you're doing good. You're doing some good work.
So what you got?
My number 4 is SUPERBAD. From 2007. This is everybody loves SUPERBAD. This is one I've
I feel like I'm not going to take away from you, but for me, SUPERBAD, I feel like it's overrated. It's got a great cast, but it's really not that good when I've rewatched it.
Maybe I've rewatched it a few times, and I've even watched it a couple of times, like within the past year. It's just a really rewatchable one, and one that I make sure I try to rewatch in some capacity,
right?
Like once every year or so. I will say that there's a part of the movie that I don't like.
You lose interest
in? I lose interest in maybe a little bit for like 20 minutes, but then it kind of pulls me back in. But I think it's super. I think it's like more relatable for guys and being a teenage boy and that kind of stuff because it goes into that area. They came out with Booksmart a couple years ago that was kind of supposed to be the girl version. That one didn't really land for me, and I don't think it's because I'm not a girl.
Right, we didn't really like that one that much.
Yeah, because you didn't like that one that much either. I don't know. It's just it's super funny. Jonah Hill's great, and it's when he was really popping. Is when he was popping. Michael Cera. It's just it's a goofy comedy. I like it.
All right. Okay, so my number 3. I think this one is going to surprise you. My number 3 is Talladega Nights.
Talladega Nights? Yeah, that does surprise me.
Yeah.
It's another good one, though.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just, I was thinking about, it's kind of funny, though, because, it's another Will Ferrell
I don't
movie.
think I have Will Ferrell on my list. I don't know what I was thinking.
Well, I don't know.
You've had him on here twice.
I know. That's what I was just going to say. I don't know. Talladega Nights is pretty funny. You've also got Will Ferrell, obviously, but what is his name?
John C. Reilly.
Yeah.
Wreck-It Ralph.
Yeah, he's very funny. And I just think about, like his family. They're hilarious in the movie. Like the whole his kids, like, I'm all jacked up on Mountain Dew, and the grandpa, and there's just a lot of funny, like, and like when they're eating like KFC and Taco Bell, and they're praying, and dear sweet 6-pound baby Jesus.
That's one I feel like we could almost watch with the kids at this point, and maybe they would get a chuckle out of it. I like Talladega Nights a lot.
Yeah.
There's so many great. You're bringing up all these great comedies. It's just very hard to rank for me.
Yeah.
There's just so many great ones.
Don't get me wrong. My list, like, you could dissect it, and I could maybe put something else there, but this was just me doing the best I could.
Like, comedy is honestly, at one point in my life, it was my favorite genre of movies. Like, it even surpassed horror, like, as far as like what I rewatch the most. So there's just a lot of comedies that's been with me for a very long time. I love them.
Who doesn't like to laugh? So
I love to laugh.
Okay, let's see what you got.
Number 3, I've got a good one. I think you'll like number 3, but it's Liar Liar.
I know
with Jim Carrey. I had to get that on the list. It is my favorite Jim Carrey movie, and it's one of my favorite comedies of all time. And I just rewatched it back in January, and it holds up every single time I watch it. I cannot watch that movie without laughing like every 5 minutes.
Right.
I think he's so good in it. It's like the best balance of like dramatic Jim Carrey, but also like super hilarious and goofy and outlandish Jim Carrey. And I love the movie. So quotable. So many great moments.
That was one that I was anticipating to be on your list. I think I would have put it on my list probably like, maybe 5 or 4 or something. Yeah. But it's a good classic comedy.
Yeah, my first 2 I picked, I could see them being knocked out of my top 5. I think about it really hard, but Liar Liar is one that I think will be on my top 5 comedies for forever.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see here. What are we on? I'm on number 2.
You're on number 2.
All right, so this one's going to throw you for a loop as well. But you know what? I remember laughing my ass off with this movie, and I just loved it. And so anyway, my number 2 is White Chicks.
White Chicks. Oh my God.
Oh my gosh. I love this movie. I think they're brothers, right? Like in real life, the 2 actors. Okay, there. Thank you. I would have thought about that if I would have known that if I thought about it. But yeah, I feel like they just killed it in this movie. I still
don't own that on Blu-ray. I need to get it.
They act like those girls so good, and I remember laughing through the whole damn movie. And
we saw that in theaters, and I think we were only like a year into dating.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing it in theaters, and I remember thinking this is so stupid, but I was laughing the whole time because it was hilarious.
I loved it. And what is the other guy's name? The one that sings the song?
That's Terry Crews.
Yeah,
he's
funny in it. Yeah. He's like this big macho man, but then he's singing. Oh my gosh, what is her name?
Making My Way Downtown.
What is that?
I never know.
Michelle Branch. Michelle Branch.
Is that Michelle Branch? Because I think there's another one like called Vanessa Carlton. I think she might have sang. I always get those 2 confused.
Ooh, you might be right.
Let us know in the comments section.
Is it Michelle Branch or is it Vanessa Carlton? Crap. Yeah. Now I'm questioning myself. But yeah, anyway, I don't know. That movie worked for me, and I think it's freaking hilarious. So
that is a shocker. And the fact that it's your number 2.
Yeah.
Like you put that above the other ones.
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
My number 2 is A 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Mm-hmm. I was anticipating that.
I've loved this movie since the second I watched it in the theaters. It is the first movie that really showcased Steve Carell in that starring role.
Yeah.
And he absolutely nailed it, and that's why he's the big star that he is today. And also The Office, obviously.
Right.
But it's so hilarious, it's so quotable, and he just plays that role so well.
Yeah.
That nerdy aging guy that's hasn't had a girlfriend or sex in his life, and it just feels real. Like there's not a lot of actors that could pull that off and you would buy it, but him you absolutely could. And it's got a great cast. Seth Rogen got his start in that movie. Paul Rudd, I feel like that was like his first comedy.
You think? Okay.
But he was in other stuff like Clueless, and he was in a Halloween film.
Yeah.
But that was like when he was really getting into comedies, and after that he started doing other stuff like Knocked Up and This Is 40 and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So it's fun movie. It's hilarious. I love it.
For sure. Yeah. All right, so we're already at our number 1, guys. So let me just refresh my memory, but I already know what it is. So I've talked about this movie a ton. It just I just love it, and I could watch it over and over again. But my number one is This Is 40.
Yep. And you wouldn't have a This Is 40 without a 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Yep. Or Knocked Up.
Same director.
Yeah. Like I said, I made my list based on laughs, you know, like actually making me laugh, not just, oh, it's like, that's a good movie. Yeah. Because there's a ton of them, let's be honest. But I'm talking about like actually laughing. And so anyway, this movie just cracks me the hell up every time because it's just so damn relatable. And literally just feels like mine and Ken's relationship. And it's just hilarious. And I love it.
Our relationship, I don't feel like is as toxic as that one can become in the movie. So I do want to say that.
Right.
But you are, to a T, Leslie Mann's character
it's just,
in those movies.
I don't know. There's just so many things that
I can be very Paul Rudd-like at times.
Yeah. And I mean, it could just be that a lot of married couples relate to this movie. Like, it might not just be that, it's us. But
they play those tropes like expertly well.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like watching yourself. So anyway, I love this movie. I think it's great. And also, we just found out that they are planning a This Is 50 movie.
Yeah, and that kind of inspired this us doing this list.
And so when I saw that, I was super pumped up. And like I said earlier in the video, comedies are just where it's at. There's a lot of darkness in the world, and it's just always great to laugh and feel good and like do happy shit.
With all the darkness right now, it would be nice if they could actually go back to making good comedies. Right. But everybody is so offended by everything.
Yeah, but so that's my number one. What is your number one? I actually don't know if I know.
So with this one, I always forget about this movie when I'm talking about some of my favorite comedies, but it just came out with a physical media release, and I just watched it again. And it kind of solidified the fact that this movie has been with me since I was literally 5 or 6 years old. Okay. I thought it was insanely hilarious when I was 5 or 6, and I still think it is today. Okay. So it has to be my number one. That's Wayne's World.
Oh, all right.
Wayne's World is insanely funny. And it's funny because we watched it together like a couple of years ago. Mm-hmm. And you were laughing too. And you were surprised by how well the movie holds up.
I literally don't remember that, but
the comedy it does not age. It is still relatable to today.
Yeah.
It's so funny. It's so meta. Like, it was kind of one of those like meta movies before that became super popular. Mm-hmm. But you have Mike Myers. He's like talking to a camera as they're filming him and stuff.
Yeah, I remember that.
So it kind of breaks the fourth wall a lot.
Right.
It's another one that's super ahead of its time, but it was also very funny and very successful back when it came out. So, and it's one that a lot of people remember very fondly. I just think it's insanely quotable.
Yeah.
That steelbook I has all the quotes on it, but
fun.
It's still missing like 30 of them.
Oh, wow.
Because there's just so many in the movie.
Right.
But I love that movie so much. Dana Carvey, Mike Myers, another Saturday Night Live inspired movie, and you had one as well with Night at the Roxbury.
Yeah.
So I love that movie so much. That's my number one.
So I think our list proves there are a lot of great comedies out there. Maybe not so much nowadays, but there's plenty of us to look back on. I'm just trying to think of a few quick honorable mentions for me. You've got Forgetting Sarah Marshall. You've got Mrs. Doubtfire.
Mrs. Doubtfire, I really thought about putting on my list, but it's hard for me sometimes with Mrs. Doubtfire because I think of it so much as like a family film.
Yeah.
And that is like in a different genre for me when I think about it.
That's what I meant by like laughs and,
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. You got any other like quick honorable mentions?
Is there any ones that you thought was going to be on my list but wasn't?
I don't know. I kind of thought that maybe I Love You Man would be.
I Love You Man could creep up there. I love that movie.
Yeah, because you love that movie. So that's another good honorable mention. And I also thought that, I thought that you might have Forgetting Sarah Marshall on there because I know you like that one too.
I love that one too. Like I said, there's just so many. Like I could honestly do a top 50 easy of comedies because then I go into like the Kevin Smith movies. I love Clerks. I love Mallrats.
Yeah.
There's just so many different. I didn't even talk about any Adam Sandler comedies. I know he doesn't make good movies to me anymore, but
I'm sorry, but Adam Sandler rocks. Okay.
I love Billy Madison, Happy Gilmore, Big Daddy, Waterboy, all those movies.
Yes, and I don't care what you say. Jack and Jill is not that damn bad.
Yeah, Dumb and Dumber is a classic.
Oh, Dumb and Dumber. I was going to
Ace Ventura. Like there's so many that you could do.
There's a lot to pick from for sure. So be sure, like we said, let us know what your
The Nutty
favorites are.
Professor
That
is a
almost
great
made
one
my,
too.
Yeah, that almost made mine too. But let us know what would be on your list. If there's any that we didn't mention, I'm sure there will be some like aha moments where we're like, oh man, I didn't think of that one.
Yeah.
And yeah.
But appreciate you guys watching. Promise we're gonna try to start making some more new videos. I know we haven't made one in a while, but appreciate everybody watching. Hit the subscribe button, like this video, comment down below. We'll see y'all later.